Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by a contribution from Effie. Dear Ollie, thank you for your videos. I particularly enjoy the latest trend among you viewers where people send you texts or audio recordings of their narcissists, and you dissect all the manipulations and telltale signs of narky behavior. But it's still all interesting. I send you a PayPal donation in thanks. Here's a story for you. You can use it anytime. It's not urgent. Or if it seems a little boring or lame, I still want you to keep the donation. It is really my thanks to you for just putting your channel out there. If you do unit, it's fine to mention my name. Effie Still Hurts. As it's a pseudonym, it's a pseudonym I use when talking about personal stuff online. The Still Hurts is my corny pun for still hurts. And Effie is for the defiant phrase, fuck you. I was having a mad day when I made that up. Or you can just say anonymous. Either way is fine with me. I want to tell you that the first narc I ever knew well, back when I was a kid. I don't have any questions. I just want to share the story of tiny abuses that a young narc will do. But if you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. I was 9 and Carla, not her real name, was 11 when she moved across the street. We lived far out of our small town, out in the countryside of Mississippi, and it was the early 1970s. The only other child for a few miles in either direction was my sweet cousin, but he was a little boy and he was 5 years younger than me, and I was so excited about another girl close to my age moving in. Finally, another girl I could play with. Boy was I wrong. We did the usual girl stuff with sleepovers, playing house, dragging out our toys, playing with her dog, etc. She was all the time asking me personal questions, getting to know me better. I didn't realize until much later she was storing away information to manipulate or embarrass me. For example, my mom was widowed when I was 6, and when I was 9, she had just remarried. For years, she had clung to me emotionally, used me as her sounding board, and said things like she didn't know what she would do without me. Mom was pretty dramatic, maybe histrionic or borderline, but this letter isn't about her. Mom instilled in me the idea that my role in life was to take care of her and be sure to take care of myself because it would break her heart if something happened to me. It was all about her. So one day when Carla was trying to convince me to do something dangerous, I was very serious when I told Carla about my mom's dependence on me and how worried that if something ever happened to me, it would kill my mother. From then on, she would occasionally make a sly reference to this when we were doing anything mildly risky while we played outside. Are you sure? Won't it kill your mother? I didn't know the phrase go fuck yourself yet, but I thought something like that many times. My mother purely hated her on an instinctive level. She said Carla was mean and had beady little eyes. True. Carla was the one who persuaded me to play with her one day when I planned to spend the day with my best friend from school, who lived about a 20-minute drive from my house. So I called my buddy and said I couldn't come, making the excuse that my mother wouldn't drive me. She was in tears. I said no after her babysitter offered to come get me. I felt so shitty. Carla was grinning smugly. That friend and I drifted apart quickly after that. I regretted this a lot. Carla was the one who shamed me into putting away my dolls as just kid stuff too. Carla would do things like getting all dramatic if she had minor injuries, and she would expect people to fall all over themselves, to exclaim about her pain and spoil her. I remember once when she was running around the house and was mad at me for something, which often happened. She accidentally ran into her mom's chest-style deep freezer, which had a key sticking in the lock. It poked her in the belly. I don't even think it left a red mark, much less a scrape or a bruise. But you'd have thought she was speared by a rusty broadsword the way she carried on. Her mother was on her side, wringing her hands in worry, picking her up, rocking her at age 11, offering Band-Aids and popsicles, and comforting her, poor little girl. Carla was acting so bad that I was standing by, giving my best skeptical look and rolling my eyes. Her smug little grin at her mom's pampering vanished when she looked at me. She got red in the face and yelled about how I didn't have any sympathy. It was comical how quickly her crippling stomach pain went away when she sprang up to get even more mad at me. Her mother glared at me too. I was so lonely for someone my age to play with that I put up with this kind of crap for a long time. She and I used to go mountaineering where we would walk through nearby woods, play bar creek, climb hills, strip bark from big sticks and use for walking sticks, and pretend to be brave explorers. So there was one time when three of her friends, all older than me, went with us. They decided to be mean with me. They got irritated when I wasn't believing some obvious lies they were telling and I didn't care. One of the girls pretended to be nauseated and throw up. She kicked leagues over it before she stood up. I wasn't buying it because I could clearly see that nothing came out of her mouth. And for some reason, they wanted me to believe it. I guess it was so they could smirk about what a dummy I was. She and the rest of them got up in my face because I had the nerve to be skeptical, that I wasn't giving the sick girl the poor baby attention that the others were. I was little and their anger was a bit scary. Carla was smiling in the background. What finally ended our friendship was when Carla had a big fit at her birthday party at her house. She was in her early teens by then, I think. There was one unpopular girl that Carla invited for some reason. That friend, I'll call her Sandra, drifted toward me during the party. She was a little nerdy, slow, quiet, and socially awkward, but I didn't want to be mean to her. I guess she sensed that I was safe. At some point, Carla got mad at everyone, like she did when people were not under her complete control. I think it was because we didn't play whatever game she was insisting on. So we walked to the end of the yard, and there was a big drop-off to the road below. She sat on this drop-off, her arms crossed with furious expression on her face. Her friends, including the same earlier girls from the walk in the including some of the older girls from the walk in the woods, walked down to the road below her and started clowning around on the side of the road, looking up at her, trying to appease the little queen's hot temper to put her into a good mood. Sandra and I stayed in the yard watching the spectacle. Carla started to have a smirky little grin again until she noticed that we weren't joining the crew who were trying to amuse her. She got furious again. I forgot exactly what she said, but it was something like, "Why aren't you trying to make me feel better too?" I said something like, "Because you aren't my queen and I'm not one of your little dancing monkeys." None of them liked that answer. After a few minutes of outraged comments from her and the monkey crew, I turned to Sandra and asked her if she was tired of this crap as I was, and if she'd like to go across the street to my house and play instead of trying to amuse a horse's ass like Carla. She said yes, and when I said adios, and we started to walk away, Carla shouted something like, "Get them," and the whole crew came pelting after me. So Sandra and I ran. We made it through my front door and locked it before all of them slammed into it, yelling and banging on the door in a nearby big picture window. They stayed at it for a while, even after I pulled the curtains closed. I was afraid they were going to break the glass and get inside, and they were insanely mad at me by then. But they went away. Sandra was more shook up by the experience than I was, and she called her mother to come get her. Soon I was alone at home as usual, because my mother and stepfather were working. I was upset enough to call my mother, who soothed me, but I was fine with being home by myself. It was one thing to be lonely, but it was something else entirely to go hang out with crazy bitches. I choose lonely and pulled out a good book. That's it. I welcome any comments you have, Ollie. I enjoy your channel. Keep on working at it. Sincerely, Duffy Still Hurts. Well, thank you for your contribution and thank you for your story. I appreciate it. And really what you got here is your typical young narcissistic mean girl dynamic. It's a pack mentality. And you get a bunch of followers, and this is bad, and this is how it is with girls. Girls are just fucking brutal. And anybody who says girls are sweet and nice and they don't hit, they get violent, they attack in packs, you know, all because one little Princess Narc doesn't get her way. It's another Daria situation, you know. It's Daria's friend, you know, Quinn and Sandy, and that's what it is. It's again another narcissistic mean girl situation, and you know, I'm glad you got away from it because those girls roll them around in packs and they get their supply by picking on other girls and picking on girls they either view as a threat to them or somebody they could get away with doing it to. And, you know, a lot of girls go through this. A lot of girls go through this. And, you know, it'll leave some scars from childhood, I'll tell you that. Definitely will. So thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's watching. Please leave any opinions or comments in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have some audio of a narc you'd like to expose or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal link in the description box. I will get the video right back to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon. Bye.